What's popping, why all? Welcome back to another YouTube video, and today we are doing another film review. First, before we start, we might notice that this isn't my voice. I have been very busy, and my voice has gone, so for now I will be using this voice, but these words are all mine. It is still all my own thoughts and opinions, just not my voice saying them. I once again apologize for the inconvenience, and with that out of the way, we can jump straight into the review. Night gathers, and now my watch begins. It shall not end until my death. I shall take no wife, hold no lands, father no children. I shall wear no crowns and win no glory. I shall live and die at my post. I am the sword in the darkness. I am the watcher on the walls. I am the fire that burns against the cold, the light that brings the dawn, the horn that wakes the sleepers, the shield that guards the realms of men. I pledge my life and honor to the night's watch, for this night and all the nights to come. And with that, I'm now a member of the Night's Watch, and we will be taking a look at Game of Thrones Season 4. Yippee, halfway through the series, and it's just getting better and better. I'm so in love with this show, I really don't know why I've put it off for so long, so let's not waste any more time and see what Google has to say about Season 4 of Game of Thrones. It has a 9.210 on IMDb. 9 noble families wage war against each other in order to gain control over the mythical land of Westeros. Meanwhile, a force is rising after millenniums and threatens the existence of living men. I'm going to start off with Brandon losing his title as worst storyline. The Lord of Light takes that for me. It's not going anywhere, just drawing so much screen time, but no progress. I don't really care for the characters. And yes, it's hopefully building something bigger in the background, but nothing right now. Jaime got a new gold hand and is now training to use his gold hand in battle, and it's nice to see him be taken down and have to work to get back up. It gives the rich some connection. I can relate to having to learn something rather than just buying it because their dad did. We had the king get poisoned in Ep 3, yes, Ep 3, he just got married. And Tyrion got blamed for doing it. However, I've got my suspicions on who is to blame. My sights set on the old lady. He deserved it 1000%. Tyrion didn't deserve to be blamed, but he did need to die. It looked so painful, and he was getting worse by the episode with the dwarf show and treating Sansa and Tyrion. Arya gets her sword back finally after so long. We get her, and Needle making a good reunion, and her relationship with the Hound is also growing with him taking her under his wing and building their trust because she now has her own horse, and he is giving her lessons. Sam kills a White Walker, the first White Walker kill in the whole show, and it's done with the obsidian arrows. I knew they would be important. I brought them up back in a previous review. See, this show is just so good. Look at how much they have in setup and key details. This is one of my favorite seasons ever. This season was genuinely so good, there was so much confusion and unexpected moments. With the fight for Tyrion's life, Pedro Pascal fought the Mountain, and obviously the Mountain is bigger and stronger, but the bigger they are, the harder they fall. All signs of the show were pointing to him winning the battle. And because of this, we can tell he's going to lose, or that's what we expect. Pedro begins to win the fight and rub it in that he's taken down the Mountain using a pole and a lot of acrobatics. Because everyone mentions Pedro Pascal's breakout role to be from Game of Thrones, which I would argue I would say his breakout role is The Mandalorian. But oh well. I would have expected him to be in the show longer, but the Mountain, after pretending to be down, got Pedro and broke his skull, caving in his eyes. He lost because he was too proud and very arrogant, not wanting to finish killing the Mountain till he said what he wanted. We also see a few others die, with Sansa's aunt getting pushed down the fly hole by Littlefinger because Littlefinger has a little crush on Sansa and gave her a smooch. Very strange, as she is only 16 in the show, but it's in the theme of this show, unfortunately. Sansa is a very sad character, as she thinks she is the last remaining Stark, as all her other siblings have sadly passed away. I did call her getting pushed down, as it was set up very nicely. The season ended with Arya going to the land she was told to head to in Season 2, very good callback. and use of a set-up plot point. She is heading there because Bran of Tarth is trying to save her from the Hound, who was trying to sell Arya for ransom money, but failed as the aunt has died despite how close Arya and Sansa actually are, but not being able to meet. It does get a little frustrating at times, but it makes for an interesting story. Arya didn't want the help of Bran, and so she fought the Hound, wounding him and badly injuring him. Arya didn't finish him off, leaving him to die a slow, agonizing death, very in character, and showing Arya's dark side. Arya is turning into a very vicious little girl. There was a big fight on the wall with Jon taking charge and leading the crows into the battle against the trolls and wildlings, and it ended with a lot of death and shock moments. They broke down the gates and walls. It was a very even fight for the longest time, and they ended up winning with the love interest for Jon got shot with an arrow by Oli, the new little recruiter that the wildlings let go to warn the crows, very poetic. Killed by the one you let go. We also see Jon very obviously affected by her death. And it's very sad. This was a very sad season, with a lot of our favorites dying, as Newt only lasted one season. He got killed by skeletons, leaving Brandon on his own with Hodor, and his sister with a new little witch girl who looks like the Frost Girl from the start of season 1. Newt dying was awful because it's twice I've had to see him die on screen. It's not fair. Also, where or why skeletons are a thing. This show is turning more and more into Dungeons and Dragons by the day, and I am all here for it. Something I'm not here for and haven't for the full show is the mistreating of the animals. I don't care what happens to most of the people in the show as long as my fave 5 stay alive, but the animals are awful. The dragons were thrown into a dungeon and chained up and left in the dark. It's so cruel, and you could hear them crying out. It's very saddening and made my heart break. It's awful to see an animal treated like that, even if it's a CGI creature. Unlike CGI creatures, we have tried and kill his father and she as they betrayed him and sentenced him to death. She slept with his father and he choked her and shot his father on the shitter, then being put in a box and sent to the island where Kelsey lives. However, the bald monk guy goes with him. I haven't spoken much about Kelsey in this video, but she didn't have much going on other than a rebellion in the city and freeing some slaves. She is faced with a very disturbing truth that people born into slavery, know nothing else so, will struggle to make it on their own in the free city. And some slaves may even like their jobs, so it's finding the balance to try and keep everyone pleased. It's very hard to do that when ruling a kingdom, and I think she is starting to see that her ideals are going to be harder to achieve than she thought. Overall, I think this is one of the most action-packed seasons with the most development, and I love it. Easily my favorite 10/10 for me. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Other than that, I think that wrapped it up, and I'll see you all in the next one. Have a nice day, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay home and stay safe. What's popping, why all? Welcome back to another YouTube video, and today we are doing a other film review. First, before we start, we might notice that this isn't my voice. I have been very busy, and my voice has gone, so for now I will be using this voice, but these words are all mine. It is still all my own thoughts and opinions, just not my voice saying them. I once again apologize for the inconvenience,